Hello, and today I've got you a story about greed, and it has a little lesson at the end of it. Now, this story is true. I cannot remember exactly the figures involved, but the final two figures are correct. So please bear that one in mind. So that's me when I was in business. And here we have this lady. This lady, I don't know her name is. Well, I do actually, but I'm not going to tell you because I'm keeping a secret. She used to have a strawberry patch. It wasn't really a strawberry patch. It was quite a big one. It was more of a strawberry field. It was about 4,000 square meters. How many is that? How big is that? Well, it could be 4 kilometers long and only 1 meter wide, but probably it was closer to 10 meters wide and 400 meters long, because the country where this story comes from has a lot of land which is in strips. So she was happily doing her strawberries, but one day a company comes along and says, we would like to build a railway line through your land, and for that we would like to give you some money. Now, this company was building a distribution center and it wanted to connect to the rail. So it was a private line, a branch line, and the line itself wasn't particularly long, but because they had such a great position for their distribution center, they wanted to build the railway line there. The company said to the lady, we will give you $250,000 for your land. Lady didn't say anything. She went back to her family and said, look, there's this company that wants to give me $250,000 for the land. They said, great, but ask them for $300,000. So she goes back and she says, I want $300,000. So they said, super, that no problem. There you go. Well, and she went back to the family and said that, well, no, they've agreed to that. They said, no. She said, try for $500,000. So she goes back and she says, it's going to cost $500,000. So the company says, okay, then you drive a hard bargain, but there you go. So she goes back to the family, so they've agreed. She said, so the family said, ask them for $700,000. So she goes back and she says, it's $700,000. And the company says, okay, I'll give you $700,000. So she goes back to the family and she says, they've agreed to $700,000. This family says, no, go for $1 million. So she goes back and she says, it's going to cost $1 million. Now this time, the company said, no. We'll give you $900,000, and that's absolutely our last offer. But the lady says, no, it's $1 million or not 1 cent less. The company said $900,000 and not 1 cent more. She said, no. So the company built the railway line somewhere else. And the lady, who would have had enough money to have lived very well for the rest of her life, ended up with 4,000 square meters to grow strawberries on, and that 4,000 square meters would have had a market value no greater than $4,000, in my opinion. Now, that was a number of years ago, and I was just thinking, how much would that land be worth today? Well, I don't know the zoning. I don't know what's in the area now. It might be worth $250,000 if lots of things have happened nearby, but I rather suspect it isn't. And in the next story, I'm going to tell you something that happened to me, and it's along a similar line. Thanks for listening.